Madam Joyce and Madam Peace have been friends for over 20 years, and their children, that is Anita and Kenneth, have been friends as well. These women have planned that their children will get married to each other so that their wealth will be contained in the family. Madam Joyce employed a driver called Josh. Josh is a graduate, but due to unemployment in the country, decided to be a driver to Madam Joyce. Madam Joyce then invited Josh over to go and pick her daughter at the airport. Madam Joyce instructed Josh to be very extra careful and not speak to her daughter when they are returning back from the airport, but unfortunately that did not happen. Anita initiated a conversation with Josh and they became friends right from the airport. When they came back from the airport, Madam Joyce was so happy to see her daughter return from the UK with a good certificate. She then introduced her to her numerous friends who she knew would employ her daughter directly and quickly. Anita was very happy to be back to Nigeria, and she was also ready to start working. In this process of her mother looking for connection for her, Anita and Josh became very close and very friendly in the house. Josh lives in the house with Anita and Madam Joyce. Then Madam Joyce noticed the friendly behavior between her daughter and Josh, and she did not like that interaction that was going on. Madam Joyce called her best friend Madam Peace to come and see her daughter who was back from the UK. Anita was introduced by her mother to Madam Peace, and she greeted her very pleasantly. And Madam Peace also told Madam Joy that her son will be returning soon as well. So that would be a very great opportunity for their children to reintroduce themselves again, and hopefully the two children will kick off their relationship officially from there. Madam Joyce was happy about that piece of information, and she alerted her daughter Anita to be on the lookout for Madam Peace's son, who is called Kenneth, who of course will be coming back into the country very soon. Anita was happy to hear about that information, so she was prepared to welcome Kenneth back. In the night, Anita went to have a conversation with Josh in his room. They had a lengthy conversation as friends, and as days goes by, feelings started developing for each other. 3 months after, Anita and Josh kicked off their relationship officially, unknown to Madam Joyce. But Madam Joyce saw the signs and noticed how super close Anita and Josh were. Madam Peace called Madam Joyce to inform her that her son Kenneth was back, so they planned to introduce their children together. So in all this, Josh and Anita's relationship was going on smoothly. Madam Joyce promised to make an official meeting for their children to meet. Madam Joyce started being very rude, condescending, and maltreating Josh because of the relationship he has going on with Anita. Madam Joyce also went on again to warn her daughter Anita to stay away from the driver. Anita refused and continued to be very close with Josh. Josh, on the other hand, had no other option than to be very far apart from Anita. But on the other hand, Anita continued to be super close and having conversation with the driver. Madam Joyce could not take their closeness anymore and decided to go on the spiritual journey to tear them apart. She went to see a spiritualist and they gave her her powder. The powder was supposed to make Josh, the driver, go mad. But as she sprayed the powder on the doorway of Josh, unfortunately for her, her daughter Anita walked through the door first to go in and greet Josh. Right after Anita walked out of Josh's room, she turned into a mad young lady. This became a big problem. Knowing very well what she has done to her own daughter, she became very depressed, devastated, and could not voice out exactly what she did to Anita. Madam Peace and her son Kenneth came in to visit Anita and Joyce, but before they came, Madam Joyce asked Josh to alert Anita to be on a good behavior so that Madam Peace and her son will not notice that Anita is mentally unstable. When Madam Peace and Kenneth came in, they introduced themselves, gave each other a very pleasant greetings, and Kenneth was trying to be friendly with Anita. Unfortunately for Kenneth, Anita bit and bite off the hand of Kenneth, and this led to a very big disagreement between Kenneth and Anita. This also led Madam Peace and Kenneth to walk out of the house. Madam Peace and Kenneth became confused on why Anita's behavior was very upset and very weird. They called Madam Joyce to find out exactly what was wrong with Anita. Madam Joyce could not say exactly what was wrong, so she gave an excuse of saying she would call them back. Madam Joyce called Josh to find out if he could calm Anita down. When Josh came, he was able to calm Anita down. Now, to find a solution to this, they called in a spiritual father to come and pray for her. When the father came, this was a fake father, so he could not find a solution to the problem. Madam Peace again came back to the house and had a deep conversation with Madam Joyce. This was the moment Madam Joyce confessed that she did a spiritual thing on her daughter, which was an accident because she wanted the driver called Josh to be the one who would be mentally unstable. But because Anita and Josh are in a relationship, it was her daughter Anita who walked through the spiritual thing that she did for Josh. So Madam Peace told Madam Joyce that she knows of a powerful pastor who can solve this problem for her. Anita's condition was getting worse by the day, so Madam Peace quickly called on the pastor and he came. Madam Joyce confessed to everyone present, that's Kenneth, Josh the driver, Anita, Madam Peace, and the pastor, that she did a spiritual thing called juju on Josh, but unfortunately for her, it was her daughter Anita that walked on the powder. This is the reason why her daughter Anita is mad. Pastor prayed intensively with everyone. The pastor went on to sprinkle holy water on her, sprinkled anointing oil on her, and asked Madam Joyce to make Anita drink this oil early in the morning and continue to pray for 7 days, and the madness will stop. So right after the pastor left, they went deep into prayer session and did exactly what the pastor directed them to do. Exactly a week after, Anita was healed from the madness. After that, Madam Joyce, Madam Peace, Kenneth, and Josh had a dinner date. On this dinner table, Madam Joyce asked Josh for forgiveness and told Josh that he can go ahead and date her daughter Anita. She has nothing against him because he was poor. But after what has happened to her daughter, she has learned her lesson. And as for Kenneth, Kenneth already has a girlfriend and he is not even interested in Anita. Kenneth saw Anita as his sister. So both women, that's Madam Joyce and Madam Peace, were happy that their children at the end found right love for themselves. And in all this, peace was restored in both houses.
Thanks for watching this recap. This channel brings you the best Nollywood movies. We save you time and money. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos for more movie recap.